John Locke, 1632–1704, was an English philosopher and political theorist, whose ideas had a profound influence on modern political philosophy, epistemology, and liberalism. Born in Somerset, England, Locke studied at Christ Church, Oxford, where he was introduced to the works of philosophers such as Descartes and Hobbes. His writings in Two Treatises of Government and Essay Concerning Human Understanding form the cornerstone of his philosophical legacy. Two Treatises of Government is Locke's major work on political philosophy, published in 1690. The work is divided into two parts, with the first part laying out his theory of natural rights and the second part addressing the proper function and limitations of government. In the first part, Locke argues that individuals have natural rights to life, liberty, and property. These rights are not granted by governments, but instead are inherent in all individuals. Locke believed that the purpose of government is to protect these natural rights, and that governments derive their legitimacy from the consent of the governed. Locke's theory of natural rights is based on the idea that individuals are born into a state of nature, where they have freedom and equality. In this state of nature, individuals have the right to pursue their own interests, but also have a duty to respect the natural rights of others. However, in order to protect their natural rights, and ensure that justice is upheld, individuals may choose to form a social contract and create a government. Locke believed that governments must be limited in their power and scope, and that they should only exist to protect the natural rights of individuals. He argued that if a government fails to protect these rights, or becomes tyrannical, then individuals have the right to overthrow it and establish a new government. This idea is reflected in the American Declaration of Independence, which draws heavily on Locke's ideas. Locke's emphasis on limited government, and the protection of natural rights, had a profound influence on the development of modern democracy and liberalism. His ideas were instrumental in the American Revolution and the development of the United States Constitution, which established a government based on the principles of limited government and individual rights. In the second part of Two Treatises of Government, Locke addresses the proper function and limitations of government. He argued that governments should be based on the consent of the governed, and that they should only exercise the powers that have been delegated to them by the people. Locke believed that government should be divided into separate branches, to prevent any one person or group from becoming too powerful. Locke also believed that individuals have the right to rebel against unjust or oppressive governments. He argued that if a government fails to protect the natural rights of individuals, then it has broken the social contract and individuals are no longer obligated to obey it. This idea of the right to rebellion has been a major influence on modern political philosophy, and has been used to justify numerous revolutions and political reforms around the world. Overall, Two Treatises of Government is a landmark work in political philosophy that has had a profound impact on modern liberalism and democracy. Locke's emphasis on limited government, individual rights, and the right to rebel against unjust government has become a cornerstone of modern political thought. John Locke's Essay Concerning Human Understanding is considered his another most important works in the history of philosophy. Published in 1689, the work is a comprehensive exploration of epistemology, or the theory of knowledge, and had a profound influence on the development of empiricism, the philosophy of mind, and modern psychology. Locke's central thesis in the Essay Concerning Human Understanding is that all knowledge is derived from experience and observation, and that there are no innate ideas or knowledge. He argued that the human mind is like a blank slate or tabula rasa at birth, and that all knowledge and ideas come from sense experience. Locke rejected the idea that the mind has any innate ideas, arguing instead that all ideas are acquired through experience. He believed that the mind is passive, receiving sensory information from the external world, and processing it to form ideas. These ideas are then organized, and combined through mental processes, such as reflection and abstraction to form more complex ideas. Locke's empiricist approach to knowledge had a profound impact on the development of modern science and psychology. He believed that knowledge should be based on observable facts and evidence, rather than abstract reasoning or metaphysical speculation. This approach laid the foundation for the scientific method, and the development of modern psychology, which emphasizes the importance of empirical observation and testing. Locke also argued that there are limits to human knowledge, and that we can never know the true nature of things beyond the realm of our experience. He believed that our knowledge is limited to the ideas that we can form, based on our sensory experience, and that we can never know the true essence, or nature of things that lie beyond our experience. One of Locke's most influential ideas in the Essay Concerning Human Understanding is his distinction between primary and secondary qualities. Primary qualities are objective qualities of objects, such as size, shape, and motion, that exist independently of our perception of them. Secondary qualities, on the other hand, are subjective qualities such as color, taste, and smell, that are created in the mind based on our perception of the primary qualities. Locke's distinction between primary and secondary qualities had a significant impact on the development of modern science and philosophy. It helped to establish the idea that there is an objective reality that exists independently of our perception of it, and that our subjective experiences are not necessarily reflective of this reality. Locke's Essay Concerning Human Understanding also includes a discussion of language, and the role it plays in the formation of our ideas. He argued that language is essential for the development of complex thought and the communication of ideas, and that the meaning of words is determined by the ideas they represent. Overall, John Locke's Essay Concerning Human Understanding is a landmark work in the history of philosophy, epistemology, and psychology. His emphasis on empiricism, the importance of sensory experience, and the limits of human knowledge helped to lay the foundation for the scientific method and modern psychology. His ideas about the distinction between primary and secondary qualities, and the role of language in the formation of ideas continue to be influential in contemporary philosophy and science.